Retail story is changing, but are our retail districts competing well with London, Dubai, or let's say Tokyo? Let's hit the pause button right there and jog your memory through what really comprises of retail districts. In India, these are categorized into high streets, malls and traditional markets. A few examples, for instance, would be Connaught Place for its colonial era design in Delhi, malls like DLF Mall of India, DLF Emporio, Kolaba Causeway in Mumbai, high street shopping in Lower Parel, Jubilee Hills, Banjara Hills in Hyderabad and much more. What are they competing against? When we talk about global retail destinations, we think of Orchard Road in Singapore, let's say, or Times Square in New York, or the Dubai Mall. India matches global markets on footfall and spending, but lags on public spaces, on walkability, curation, and experience layering. But we're also playing catch up. Why is it that destination economy is important for any nation, and what does it really mean for Indian retail districts? People no longer visit to just shop, they come to eat, they come to experience, explore and stay. Retail districts must function like mini cities. It must be a blend of food, art, entertainment, events and community. And there are many examples where this shift in India is already visible. For instance, let's say DLF Cyber Hub in Gurugram. It offers food, houses offices and is a venue for several events. BKC Geo World Drive, again we'll just pull up those visuals, gives shopping experience, a whole lot of theatre. There's also Kala Ghoda in Mumbai. Let's say how it continues to offer heritage, art, cafes, retail, all of that in just one place. There's also Mumbai Phoenix Palladium, there's UB City in Bengaluru. These are just some of the examples of where the shift is actually being witnessed in real time. There's another shift happening. Retail is moving from real estate to residency. So the next decade of retail will belong not just to developers but also to placemakers. What we mean by that is the ultra rich are not just buying homes, they're also buying into brands. Hospitality-driven living, where homes feel like five-star resorts, is the next big thing. In fact, India has emerged as one of the world's leading markets for branded luxury residences. And you must have heard of some of these. M2M India tying up with Lebanon-based fashion designer Elie Saab for branded projects in NCR and Mumbai. Whiteland Group collaborating with Marriott International to launch residences in Gurugram. Tum Tower in Gurugram, again by M3M and Tribeca developers. There's also M3M Jacob & Co residences in Noida. These are just some of the examples. But why is this shift being witnessed? Driving this shift is India's rapidly expanding wealth base. For the rich, luxury is no longer about premium finishes. It is about owning homes that reflect sophistication. Beyond aesthetics, designer branded residences have become closely tied to identity. Luxury homes are seen as status symbol, reflected in what we say, I live in a Trump Tower mindset. That's the mindset. As far as housing and real estate are concerned, let's not forget the figures that have been drawn by the government. Housing loans have grown to 11% of the GDP in financial year 25, up from 8% in 2015. Individual home loans have tripled to 37 lakh crore rupees. Under PMAU, 1.22 crore homes have been sanctioned and 96 lakh delivered. Now that's a separate area, but the real estate sector has been in a sustained upcycle since September 2021 with strong demand driven by affordability and also easing inflation. Now, luxury real estate, India has entered top 10 global markets for branded residences. That's why we're having this conversation today. Luxury projects are set to grow 200% by 2031, with home prices up 40% between 2022 and 2025. Sales also jumped 85% year on year in the first half of 2025, with Delhi NCR capturing 57% of the market. Tourism has emerged as a key growth multiplier, boosting real estate, hospitality and retail. It also drives jobs, urban consumption and investment, which continues to anchor economic growth. So what does retail and real estate look like in the next decade? Let's quickly bring in our guest this morning. Abhishek Kiran Gupta, CEO and co-founder CRE Matrix, joins us as our first guest. Good morning, Abhishek. Hi.
Good morning.
Also with us is Mr. Shriram PM Monga, co-founder and principal consultant at SRED Real Estate Advisory. So we're going to try and do some brainstorming, do a little bit of math and really put out those numbers for our viewers tuned in. Abhishek, first, let's clarify for all those. I mean, there is all kinds of people of all age groups watching our show, The Breakfast Club on CNN News 18. Let's decode this entire concept that we've brought to the table today. Retail districts, is that really a thing in India? Or are we still getting to the point of recognizing, you know, let's say your malls or centers that come with a holistic experience as retail districts still? Are we still to get to that point?
Okay, so very excited to talk about India retail. Let me tell you, if retail has to grow in the world, and I'm saying this with fair bit of responsibility and seriousness, it has to be in India because 140 crore people live here. If you want to sell coffee, if you want to sell tea, you want to sell clothes, you cannot sell them in Greece. You cannot do that in Europe. You have to do it in India. Now coming to the experience. We Indians love shopping, we love cinema, and we like to do it with validation. We do not go alone to shop. We'll take a friend, we'll take a brother, you might take your spouse, and it's an entire barrage of people who go shopping. So yes, experiences are very important, and therefore, the Connaught places are converted to cyber hubs. The Kalagoras are converted to
So are the Connaught places or the INA market still being looked at these retail hubs? Yeah.
Oh yeah. We love it when we wear those sweaters, pull up those wonderful jackets in the winters of Delhi, and we go walking, shopping, eating, drinking. So it's a Sunday affair. Now what? So this is the good part. What I really want to see in India also is destination retailing, which doesn't happen. Indians don't like to travel. We become lazy. We don't travel 30-40 kilometers to do our shopping. Americans do that, right? We do not travel to, what you call 30-40 kilometers away and say that, you know what, I'm going shopping today because I'm going to spend an entire day at an outlet center.
Yeah.
Now that will happen to India because Indians are traveling all over the world. They're experiencing all of those wonderful things in London, Dubai, United States, Singapore, Hong Kong, and they want those experiences in India. And it will happen. And the best part, you know what it is? It will not be limited to the metro cities of India. Because Indians are everywhere. It can be in Jalandhar. It can be in Amritsar. It can
But why
be in
haven't we
Nagpur.
seen it as yet? I mean, forget tier 2 cities. We've not seen it on the outskirts of tier 1. Also, I mean, you see something like this in the heart of Gurugram or the heart of Noida or the national capital. Of course, it's had these traditional outlets, but we've also not been able to go past, let's say, 50 kilometers of Delhi NCR, right?
Yeah, so see, that's the problem, right? And I blame this to our developer friends, although I love them, but I do blame it to them because they got the whole retail format wrong from day one. They're used to building and selling. You cannot sell a mall. You have to, mall is like a hotel. You have to live with it for 10, 20 years. It's a whole gestation period. Manage the mall because once you sell it strata, it's gone, right? So that's what is lacking in India. Now you're seeing the likes of Lulu's and Phoenix and DLF. They are holding on to those malls. They're holding on to those assets. And therefore, those assets are doing exceedingly well.
Okay, let's go across to Shriram as well. Understand if he has some examples on top of his mind. Shriram, which Indian cities or retail districts are closest to global benchmarks as per your assessment and why? Give us reasons as well.
There are a few examples which I would like to quote, like the Mall of India in Noida, which is a very large retail ecosystem, draws more than 2 million people a month. I'm looking forward to see also the Worldmark development, which is coming, which has been built by the Bharti Group in the AeroCity area, which is a truly tourist district in making. It has all the attributes which probably looking forward for creating that experience which an international tourist is looking at.
Okay, lovely. So we've spoken a little bit about what needs to be done, where India is at currently in this entire ecosystem. Abhishek, I want to now switch over to what I'd spoken of just a while ago, which is branded residency. Branded homes. How old or new would you say this phenomena is? I mean, we're hearing of the Trump Towers, we're hearing of Four Seasons, we're hearing of all of this. Eli Saab, very close to where our office is right now, they're coming up with a project in Noida. What is driving this kind of a craze? Of course, spending capacity is one big factor, and that is very clear if we just go by, what the economic surveys also projected. But otherwise as well, Trump residence's Gurugram, for instance, saw record-breaking response on the launch day itself. And if I just go through a little bit of research and put out those figures, the total allotments amounted to 3,200 crore rupees. Matlab, even the most exclusive penthouses priced at 125 crore rupees were gone. Launch day.
Okay, this story is very new. However, India has always been rich, but that's the tip of the iceberg. But it's spread out now. What I mean is, it started with COVID, where COVID got this whole thing called FOMO, fear of missing out. And people then wanted to live in bigger homes. They wanted to live in expensive homes. Everything got larger. If Delhiites were used to living in a 3-bedroom apartment of 2,000 square feet, suddenly became 2,500 square feet. If people in Hyderabad lived in a 3-bedroom of 1,800 square feet, suddenly became 2,200 square feet. So yes, it is new. It started with the famous FOMO of COVID. But then please remember, post-COVID, the stock market has had a dream run. The number of IPOs that India has seen has been phenomenal. The number of startups that got funded has been phenomenal. And the government has made it so much easier for the developers to sell these homes, because if you have capital gains, the only place where you can save money, save taxes, is by investing in a house. So therefore, all of these factors, look at pharma. Pharma did phenomenal. Our farmers, let's not forget our farmers who have sold so much land to our developer friends over the last 5 or 6 years. Where is that money going? Lot of these factors collectively have reached. And then again, I repeat, Indians are traveling. We are the top 3 travelers in the world in terms of tourism. And they go there, they experience the world there. They live in
you want to replicate that experience. You want to make it a reality, everyday reality. Lovely.
Absolutely. Okay. And we love partying. We have more festivals and reasons to party than anywhere in the world.
No, but when to party or to live, you're to literally take out nothing less than 10 crore rupees. It's supposed to pinch you a little bit. Shriram, what's driving this entire concept or the branded residences boom in India? Is it just limited to designs, or as Abhishek said, you travel out, you watch where you're staying, the experience they create for you, where you want to replicate it, global standards, future proofing? What is it?
I think what a consumer is looking forward for a professionally managed professionally managed residences, which has consistent service, concierge services, spas, healthcare, wellness centers. I think these are the more focus areas where a consumer is looking forward to upgrade their lifestyles. From a value perspective, I am very confident that the way this ecosystem has been built, it is going to give and sustain a long-term value for the investors as well.
Okay, Shriram, and very quickly, since we're already talking about this, what mistakes are Indian developers still making? Abhishek highlighted a few, but let's dig deep. What are the smartest shifts you're seeing? What are the big mistakes that need to be worked on?
See, from a commercial retail perspective, I think there are 2 types of developers. One is a conventional developer who's just developing any asset which is a short-term goal in the asset, where they are potentially not focusing on the long-term sustainability of the project. And the other developer is a placemaker who's basically creating something for the community, a social environment which brings habits to a certain audience, and they come back again for those experiences. I think the value is there, and those values which further takes the experience of the consumer to different levels, solid programming in terms of retail, and solid programming around the social environment of that ecosystem is something which the consumer is expecting. There is and I'm pretty happy that the Indian developers are now transforming into placemakers where they are focusing on these type of management details for the consumers, so that they come back again and again for any moment with the family or their friends, or socially they want to spend in these environments.
Like Abhishek was saying, more people want to invite people over to their homes and curate that experience for them. Abhishek, very quickly, what are you most excited about over the next 5 years or a decade, let's say, when it comes to real estate in India, especially branded homes? Because a lot of people say it's no longer a niche, but that's not fully correct, right? Only a few or the ultra rich can afford it still.
So before I talk about what am I super excited in the next 5 to 10 years for branded homes, let me quickly tell you about retail. I'm shouting at my top of the lungs that retail is here and only here because people are here, and that cuts across the economy, across the strata, in terms of the outlet stores all the way up to super luxury from Paris. The point is that we have made malls, we got them wrong, we get them right now. But we haven't made what I call as a strip mall or a quasi between high street and mall. And I think Indians will love that. Bangalore city, Pune city, Delhi have great weathers, right? And people would love to do that. So I'm very, very bullish on retail, and therefore I'm also very bullish on warehousing in India. Now, coming to branded residences, India is getting richer. We are the actually the number one fastest growing economy probably at this size, but the fourth largest economy. We're going to be number 3 very, very soon. And the Indians are getting richer. You can look at the GST collections. You in the beginning of the, I think, show shared some numbers in terms of the percentage of contribution in GDP and etc., etc. And all of these guys would want to live in better homes, bigger homes, branded homes. Like, for example, in Bombay, I often say that living on the 40th floor is living in Khandala. You don't need to go to Lonavala anymore because the mountain, the mountain view, the sea view, and the mist and the clouds will be in your house.
I'm sure a lot of people disagree though, Abhishek. A lot of people still want to put in that effort and you go to the hills, experience that up close. But Abhishek, that's all the time we have. So we'll have to wrap up. It's a conversation we'll keep having over the next few years. Thank you so much for joining us, Abhishek and Shriram. Thank you.